warrior two, so bend through the front leg and push back into warrior two there. Take an inhale and exhale as you windmill to the mat, placing the hands either side, chaturanga dandasana. Exhale, inhale into up dog, and exhale, tucking the chin, pushing back into downward facing dog. Take an inhale and a full exhale as you bend through the knees and jump to the front of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep to standing. And exhale, palms to heart center. So we're going to repeat it on the other side. So grounding through that right leg there, creating a strong, stable base, lightening through the left leg, and lifting the left foot, just taking the inside of it with your left hand there. Inhale, the right arm to the sky, and exhale, kicking back into dancer's pose. So you want to lift through that left knee there, reaching to the front of the room, taking your drishti over your middle finger. Good. Releasing the back leg and kicking back into aeroplane pose. Good. Seeing if you can lift it all four corners of the mat. So you're lifting your leg, lifting your chest, and taking both hands to the mat. We're coming into our half moon on the other side. So right hand to the floor, and left hand reaches the sky, rolling the left hip open, rolling the shoulders open, lifting through that left leg, flexing the foot, and bend through the front knee, transitioning back into warrior two, sinking into your lunge, and exhale, chaturanga dandasana, stepping back, high plank, exhale, low plank, roll over the toes, inhale into up dog, and exhale, tuck the chin, roll over the toes into downward facing dog. Inhale and exhale as you roll into high plank. So we're going to come into Vasisthasana, which is side plank here. So just placing the toes together at the back of your mat. Your right hand comes to the centre beneath your face, and we're rolling over, roll the heels over to the right side. As you reach the left hand, left arm towards the sky, you want to create a lift through the hips. Lift through the hips, and as an option, lifting through the leg. So creating a lift through that left leg as high as you can towards the ceiling. Good. Taking your gaze towards the ceiling if you can. And lowering the back leg, coming into high plank. If you need to rest, just pushing back into downward facing dog. Taking a deep inhale and exhale as you roll forward to a high plank. Placing the feet together at the back of the mat. Left hand comes beneath your face there, rolling the heels over to the left hand side and reaching the right hand high towards the sky, shining through the fingertips, creating lightness, lifting through the hips, lifting through that right leg if you can towards the ceiling, creating strength, and lowering the back leg, coming back into high plank and pushing back into downward facing dog. Just rolling over the toes and coming onto the knees, having a brief rest here in child's pose, lowering your forehead towards the floor, sweeping the hands to the side, your palms facing up, taking a few deep breaths here, breathing into the side body, into the chest, lengthening tailbone. We're going to come into headstand prep here. I'll just do a demonstration of the full headstand for those who are able. Otherwise, we'll have a play around at the wall and just practice getting part of the way there. So when we come into headstand, just placing the elbows at shoulder width on the mat, grounding through the wrists. So you want your weight to be 95% in your wrists and your elbows here. You want to interlace the fingers and either have the palms so that they're squeezing together, or for those who are more experienced, you can have your palms open, fingers still interlaced. Place the head snuggled in between your palms there. You want to inhale as you lift the hips towards the sky, up onto the toes, walking the feet inwards towards the head. So you want to feel your weight shift onto your elbows and your wrists, your shoulders. Shoulder blades should be hugging towards each other and sliding towards your tailbone, sliding down the back. And lastly, lifting the heels, either stay here or lengthening all the way up towards the ceiling, flexing the balls of the feet, creating lightness. To come out, slowly lower both legs towards the ground. And we're going to finish here in child's pose after the headstand. So we might actually just try this against the wall. So just coming up here against the wall. So interlacing the fingers there, placing the palms together, good. Elbows are a shoulder width apart, that was great, yep. So the weight should just be on your forehead, not on the top of the head either. Sliding the shoulder blades down together towards each other and down the back to create that stability. Walking the feet so that you feel the weight shift into your forearms and the elbows, and just both feet raised together onto the wall, straightening up onto the wall, flexing the toes, lifting, creating lightness through the toes towards the ceiling. You want to lengthen that tailbone away from your shoulders, creating length, lightness in the head. To come out, just bend through the knees and slowly lower towards the floor. Great. Rolling over the toes, sweeping back into child's pose, taking a little rest here. Lengthening the tailbone. Well done, everyone. Just slowly rolling up so that you're sitting on your heels there. Just come forward to the front of your mat. We're going to come into hero's pose here. So leaving the knees so that they're touching each other there. You want to widen the feet so that they're more towards the sides of your mat there. Grab your hands on your calf muscles and roll the calf muscles out as you take a seat between your feet there. Great. Now, there's a few different options here that I'll demonstrate. So either staying here, if that's enough. It can be quite tough on the knees, or alternatively, if you're okay here, just lifting the chest and coming back onto the elbows. Now, this may not be enough for some of you. If it's not, making sure the tailbone remains tucked, you can come all the way back onto the shoulders and hold your elbows either side of the top of your head there. So lengthening that tailbone away and lifting through the chest. Staying here for a few breaths here. It's quite an intense pose here. So rather than thinking about when am I going to get out of this position, thinking about just staying. You're exactly where you need to be right at this moment. Creating focus in your body will help create focus in the rest of your life. To come out of the pose, just walking up with your hands, placing the palms in front of you, just cross your ankles behind you and roll over so that you come into a seating position. Sweep your legs in front of you. You might like to give your knees a little bit of a shake out there. Good. We're going to come into Paschimottanasana. So just walking, you might like to grab your butt cheeks, just create a bit of space there and sitting bones. Reaching, creating lightness through, reaching up towards the ceiling and coming into a deep forward fold over the legs. So chin draws in, lengthening the back of the neck. So you want the outsides of the feet flexed back towards your body. Slightly turn out that way. Quads are stretched on. Just going to come and do a slight adjustment. Is that okay? Yep. Okay. Inhale and exhale. Moving into a deep forward fold. All right? Mm-hmm. slowly rolling up to standing. Just bending the knees. You might like to scoot your hips a little bit closer towards your heels and slowly, just at the count of 5, rolling all the way to the ground. We're going to come into our wheel pose here. So just ensure that you can touch the back of your heels with your fingertips. So they need to be a bit closer towards the bottom and hip width apart. So common mistake is to have them too wide there. So you want to actually be able to touch them. Good. Okay. Placing the hands above your shoulders, fingertips are facing towards your shoulders. So we'll transition up in a few stages. So to start with, curling through the tailbone and pushing up. So you're lifting the heel, lifting your tailbone upwards towards the sky. So curling under the tailbone, lifting all the way up into bridge. Good, creating space in the rib cage. Pushing through the arms to come and rest on the top of the head. And lastly, pushing through the legs and the arm, pushing up into wheel pose. You want to aim to straighten through the legs as much as you can. Bringing the weight towards the front of the room, hips towards the sky, shining through the chest. You want to keep your toes facing inwards slightly there as well. Good. To come out, just tuck the chin and slowly lower towards the ground, rolling onto your back. Good. Let's just give our knees a little bit of a hug there. Just holding the knees. You might like to rock from side to side. Do a few figure of 8s, whatever you find releases your back. Good. Lastly, we're going to come into a bit of a spinal twist. So, sweeping the right leg over the left leg, coming into Garudasana legs, eagle legs. Good. Arms reach sideways, palms are facing downwards on the floor. Good. Slowly lowering your legs to the left-hand side. And taking your gaze over the right shoulder. Good. Just letting go here. You want to draw that right shoulder towards the floor. Rinsing out the day. Inhale the legs back to centre and switching sides. Sweeping the left leg over and hooking it and sweeping the left leg over and hooking it behind. That's it. And exhale, taking it over to the right hand side. This time taking your gaze over the left shoulder, lengthening that left shoulder towards the floor. Inhale, legs back to centre, unravelling the legs, giving the knees a nice big hug again, centering yourself, and lastly, extend the legs out in front of you, rolling the feet outwards. So the hips are opening up towards the ceiling like a book, palms are facing upwards, back of the neck lengthens. Relaxing the feet, relaxing the ankles, the legs, the hips, the back, surrendering to the earth, opening the chest, relaxing the shoulders, the arms, the hands, relaxing the fingertips, relaxing your neck, your face, your nose, relaxing the eyes, your eye sockets, your ears, relaxing your scalp, feeling your breath, connecting with the earth, sinking into the earth. Observing